Hello, so today I wanted to talk about the MAC Pro Performance Sponge and I wanted to talk about the Beauty Blender. Okay, so obviously these are both sponges and obviously you have all heard the whole commotion about the Beauty Blender. Before I used to apply foundation with my fingers. I don't know if that's weird, but I didn't like using brushes because I hated washing the brushes. So after I started using my fingers, I got this. Okay, the only reason I got this is because they demonstrated how to use it at I don't even know, but it was some type of class. I forgot what they call them, but it was a class for MAC. And what they did first is that they did her foundation first with a foundation brush, and then they used this after to smooth everything out. So what they did was what they roll, and of course the top is for places like underneath your eye and then on your nose or whatever. So this watching it, what I saw, because first I did it on one side of the face and then they did it on the other side of the face, and the side that they did it on was her pores were pretty much gone. So I wanted to get this because I didn't really want to use my fingers anymore, and it looked like a really nice smooth finish. And I also got it because I had my pro discount, so I was obviously gonna prefer this over the Beauty Blender. So I got this and it was nice, but only because I didn't use my fingers and I didn't know what it was like to use a brush or anything. So it was nice and I liked it. It was also perfect, for here, and then it was also good for like getting in the little concealer pods. Like you could just get in there really like fast or whatever. You could just like dab it on and it would come out really nice. You would also have to wet this first because if you don't, not all the product is going to come out on your face. It's going to be very hard for it to get on your face. And they also showed how they would blend like certain makeup, or how when doing someone's when doing someone's makeup, you would use this, and you could just use many things with this sponge. So I did like this. And then after, my sister, she would talk about the Beauty Blender, and this is a Beauty Blender. As you can see, it's this little egg-shaped thing. It's a lot different from the Pro Sponge, and I don't even know if the color has faded on this or if I washed it too much, or I don't know, but there's a big difference. Obviously this has a more cone shape and this is just an egg. So my sister got this because it came with two of them, and this is the more new one, or the one hasn't been used, and this is the one that I use. So she doesn't really use the Beauty Blender. Actually, she doesn't use it at all. So it's the same method. You do wet it and then you do apply your makeup with it and everything. And then the Pro Sponge is a lot more sturdier than this, so this could easily break. As you can see, it's already ripping right there because I was jamming it into this container which had my foundation on there, so it kind of ripped a little bit. But I also tried this dry and it didn't work out just like the Pro Sponge. So with these sponges, you're always going to want to use this wet. Also, this grows and this doesn't. This stays the same size. I am going to demonstrate how much this grows. Okay, so this is the Beauty Blender when wet, and that's how much bigger it is compared to the Pro Sponge. And this is how much bigger it is compared to when the Beauty Blender is actually dry. And honestly, I have to say that this has a much better effect than the Pro Sponge. Only because I noticed that this brings a lot more product out. I just have to use a little dab or whatever, and I just put that and it works almost for my whole skin. And also, I love the container that it comes with. I know that this really doesn't have to do with anything, but this comes with a container that is able to... So this comes in two parts, and this is the second part, and you just put it in there and it dries, overnight. The thing that I didn't like about this is that it just came with a little bag, and obviously if you put it in the bag and just seal it while it's wet, it's a big breeding ground for bacteria. So what I had to do with this is that I had to put it on top of a plastic surface or whatever, a clean surface, and I had to dry it on there. So Another plus about this is that it has, you know, the little container that you could dry it with. You could also put the Pro Sponge in there, but you're not going to get this container with the Pro Sponge. And this is a lot easier to get around. Since this is a lot sturdier, it's a lot harder to, you know, get in the areas right here. And as this, you're just going to, you know, just squeeze it. It's not so hard, and you know, just put it everywhere. So definitely, I would have to say the Beauty Blender is a lot better than the Pro Sponge, but this is still good as far as, you know, taking out streaks and, you know, better than an actual foundation brush. This is a good way to go. But also, I think you just might as well just buy the Beauty Blender, because I don't know how much this is, but this is just way more worth it than this. But I mean, this is just, you know, my word for it. If you do like this a lot better, then go ahead and do that. Or if you do like this because it's a lot sturdier and this is a little bit more, it's more chances that it'll break. But bottom line, I think this is the better way to go. Unfortunately, I do not have foundation on today, since I'm trying not to put on as much as foundation as I usually do. But maybe later on I can show how I put it on, because I only put it on in this area, not so much on my forehead because my bangs cover it, and not so much on my chin because I don't really need a lot of coverage there. And then also, I could probably show how I clean this, because a lot of the videos that I do see, it is still stained, and I have found a perfectly good soap that just takes away the stains and just leaves it clean. But the downfall about that is that it does take away a little bit of the pink. As you can see, it is a little bit lighter than the dry Beauty Blender. So bottom line, this is better than this in my opinion. So go ahead and get the Beauty Blender. Even if you have a pro discount, just go with the Beauty Blender. And this is my review, and thank you for watching.